Our final guest here today on Football Fridays is entering his 21st season at Notre Dame. He's the all-time winningest coach in Notre Dame men's basketball history with 437 wins. He's led the Irish to 12 NCAA tournaments, one Sweet 16, and two Elite Eight appearances. The Glenn and Stacey Murphy head men's basketball coach, Mike Brey. Coach, thank you so much for taking the time to be with us today.
Oh, Chris, good to be with you, man. It's basketball weather out there. That weather starts turning a little bit, and I start feeling like it's hoop season. But all good. We started practice on Wednesday officially. Today we'll have practice number 3 of the season, and so it's just awesome to be in the gym every day with our guys, even with masks on. It's working.
You're taking away all my questions here, Coach Brey. Now, you just mentioned that you were back in the gym officially for the first time on Wednesday after this long layoff and these crazy last few months. How's it feel just to be back in ropes with the guys?
Well, Chris, I think it's therapy for everyone, mostly the head coach, just to be back with our guys. They left in mid-March, and I thought maybe I'd see them for summer school and we'd go through our summer routine because we thought, oh, we'll be through this and everything will be fine. And then I didn't see them till August 10th when they came back to school. So we've had some preseason workouts and they're in with our strength coach, but the official start of practice where we can go 6 days a week started Wednesday. So to be able to build towards something is awesome. Right now, our opener is December 2nd against Western Michigan here at home. And then the rest of our December slate is extremely competitive. Hopefully we can release it maybe in the next week or two.
You also kind of mentioned wearing masks in practice. Besides just that, what sort of things are you guys having to do differently this year to meet the coronavirus protocols?
I've been really proud of our group. First of all, what are their habits away from here? And I think what's happened with most student athletes on our campus, and there's been some spikes in everybody's team, I think the student athletes, our guys want to play so badly that they don't want to be the one to shut the building down or shut a season down or cancel a game. So I give them a lot of credit on the weekends and the evenings. I think their social interactions have been very disciplined and very smart because they want to play. We do a good job of wearing the masks. Every now and when they'll slip down a little bit, and mine slips off because I'm trying to blow a whistle to stop practice under a mask. But you know what? That's okay because we're together and we're doing stuff and we're playing the game. And I think, again, the mental health part of being able to be in the gym together as a team, be with your teammates, me being a teacher, being able to teach, that's all been very positive, certainly since Wednesday.
Everyone, if you have a question for Coach Brey, be sure to ask them now, and we'll get to them a little bit later in the interview. And you mentioned December 2nd against Western Michigan, going to be your first game. But this year's schedule is going to be a little weird. A lot of teams are going to play different numbers of games. You're probably going to see some cancellations or postponements, non-conference schedules. Who knows what that's going to look like? So as a coaching staff, how are you and your assistants preparing for this really different year?
Yeah, I think for us, we know December 2 now, you can't have an exhibition or a scrimmage. Those were outlawed. The season was moved back a couple weeks. So we decided to play 25 games. You usually play 31 in a rest. So we've shaved, some off already. And so we figured we would open December 2nd. And here, I'm going to give you our schedule up until Christmas. And I don't have the actual schools, but you can fit it. So December 2nd, Western Michigan at home. December 8th, we will host a Big Ten opponent in the ACC Big Ten Challenge. I don't know who that will be. December 12th, we're at Kentucky. December 15th, we will host an ACC game. Not sure who that'll be yet. December 19th, we will play Purdue down in Indianapolis as part of the Crossroads that we play in. December 22nd, we're on the road for an ACC game. And then we'll go to Christmas. That is our December schedule up until Christmas. And again, we're hoping we can play all 25 of them and stay clean, and we're trying to kind of get organized for when we travel. The one thing that basketball has is, unlike football, our travel party is smaller, our group is smaller. The problem we have, though, unlike football, we play 2 or 3 games a week, not just one. So the routine of testing and 3 tests, and that's where it's going to get interesting for basketball.
That is quite a start to the season for you and the guys, Coach.
Yeah.
Now, I want to talk about your returning guys in just a second, but first, there's a really unique matchup scheduled with Howard University on Martin Luther King Jr. Day. It's the first time Notre Dame will visit a historically Black college or university, and there's a great initiative connected with it when we all vote. And tell us a little bit about the impact of that game and the initiative.
Well, I'm very excited about that game, and I know our fans may think I'm crazy. I don't think there's a bigger game on our schedule because of what it encompasses all the way around. Kenny Blakeney, the coach at Howard, I recruited to Duke University many moons ago, and he was my assistant at the University of Delaware. So we go way back, and we decided to do a home and home with them, back in a year ago when he got the job. But the schedule was December 27th, Howard was going to come to us. And when everything happened with George Floyd and everything that's going on in our country with social injustice and Black Lives Matter, I called Kenny and I said, how about we come to you? And he always wanted us to come on MLK Day. And I said, we're there. Now, that's the midst of the ACC season. But I said, I don't care. We will be there. And we lined it up with the initiative When We All Vote. It's a Michelle Obama initiative that was started by her, and our players have all jumped in. We did a Zoom with the Howard players back in June. They've all registered to vote. They've all are recruiting other people to register to vote. And it sure does sound, from looking at the news, that the polls are busy. The early voting is busy. And this whole voting initiative has been really powerful. So both the Howard players and our guys really got behind When We All Vote back in June and July and August. And so, that will move obviously through November 3rd. And when we play the game, the neat thing about it, the game will be on Fox national broadcast. It'll be a national broadcast. Gus Johnson, who does a lot of Fox Sports, is a Howard grad. So he will call the game. If the Democrats win, I would think Kamala Harris may be sitting on the Howard bench. She's a Howard grad. I don't know if we'll get any calls if that's the case in that game, but I think both teams are going to be able to do some things in the midst of social injustice and certainly play the game. And for a Power 5 school to play on the campus of an HBCU, it just doesn't happen. And I think it's really powerful for our university to go and do that. How about this? Monday is MLK Day. Wednesday is the inauguration that week. So, DC, pandemic or not, is probably going to be buzzing a little bit with everything that could go on. So I appreciate you bringing it up. I think it's been a great educational experience for my guys with this game. Again, we've got 24 other games to play, but there's a lot of special stuff around it that's been used to kind of educate our guys and open their mind. It's spurred on some amazing discussions amongst my team. And I have an interesting makeup. I have 6 Black players, 6 white players. Makes for some great discussions in our locker room with the world and what's going on out there. And heck, I've been educated listening to them give feedback. So again, MLK Day, we will be at Howard. They're a pretty good team, and then that'll be in the midst, of an ACC schedule.
Kudos to you and the staff over there and Howard for putting all that together and making that work. A really important thing to do. Now, we're going to open this up to an audience question here in just a minute, but before we do that, we're looking at your team this year. You lose 3 guys, Rex Pfluger, TJ Gibbs, and John Mooney, who played a lot of basketball for you over the last few years. Who are some of the guys that are going to have to step up this season to get you back to the NCAA tournament?
Well, I'm excited about our group in that, 2 years ago when they were young and we threw them to the wolves, we got swallowed whole and got beat up and we took our medicine. And even the first half of last year, we were still searching. We were 2-6 in the ACC coming out of Tallahassee. I said something at a press conference and the ACC fined me, for getting on the refs a little bit and the whole bit. And then we went 9-4 the rest of the way, and we finished 10-10 in the league. And we had beaten Boston College in Greensboro. We were on the bus to the shoot around to get ready for Virginia when the world stopped. We would have been, most likely, an NIT team, which would have been good for this group of juniors, especially Hub, Leshevsky, Goodwin, Carmody, Cormac Ryan, who are kind of growing. So now we're older, and we've pretty much, through my 21 years, we've been able to stay in an older rotation, and we're kind of back in that again. Jawan Durham is a fifth-year senior. We look for him to give us even more now that Mooney is gone, and we'll need more from him. Nick Jogo is a fifth-year senior coming off the bench. He's played a lot of basketball for us. But it's a 2-year team with the junior class. It's a group that's going to play together for a while. That's why I'm really excited and I want to play, because we've been waiting on this group to be primed to do it and have experience. So Hub, Cormac Ryan, Dane Goodwin, Nate Leshevsky, Jawan Durham, there's your starting lineup. Now is it Jogo off the bench? Matt Zona, a freshman from New York, has been very impressive the first couple days of practice, a frontline guy. Tony Sanders, a freshman from Miami, an athletic wing, also been very impressive as we move forward. We're going to get Robbie Carmody healthy. He's not had the best of luck, but he should be back by Christmas, and no one deserves to be part of it more than Robbie. And so, I'm excited because it's an older group. They've been around, and now they'll play together for 2 years as old guys, not the young guys that got picked on 2 years ago.
That's great. Hopefully not too old, of course, like you and me. But Coach, before we let you go here, let's go ahead and grab one audience question here. You've been called the loosest coach in America. We've known that for about 21 years now, for your laid back demeanor. What did you do to keep loose during the pandemic?
It's funny. I escaped to Florida in April. My son coaches high school football at IMG Academy, and I have 2 grandchildren down there. And I went down there thinking I'd go for a week. And then I extended it a week. And then I extended it a week. And I was down there for a month and got to see my grandchildren almost every other day. And I got into a good workout routine. And I think I'm in the best shape I've ever been in, because you have no excuses not to work out in this pandemic. I haven't been on the road recruiting. I haven't been going over. So I feel we're in good shape. We're not going to we already decided we're not going to wear suits. The NBA coach's look was kind of, and that certainly fits my style after you saw my act in Maui with like gym shorts on. And, I may bring the Maui look back for some games, but I think, it's just been so good to be back around our guys. I missed them, and we were doing Zooms, but as we know, it's just not the same. And to see them every day and to be around their personalities and their sense of humor is uplifting.
We will hold you to that Maui invite dress code, Coach. Thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us today, Coach Brey. We appreciate it. Best of luck to you this season. Have a good practice today.
Thanks, guys. Beat Louisville. We'll see you soon.